I was not expecting this. I've never camped in the snow before. I'm not prepared for winter weather. I think I might be stuck here. I woke up to a winter wonderland. Wow, it snowed overnight and it's still snowing a little now. I was not expecting this. This is a first for me. I've never camped in the snow before, especially not this much snow. I think I might be stuck here. I don't have snow chains or anything like that. I'm not prepared for winter weather. I guess I just wait it out. Hope a plow truck comes through. Since I'm having a snow day, I thought it would be really fun to bake a loaf of bread from scratch. A few videos ago, I put in a few clips baking some bread, and some of you asked for the recipe, so I thought I would take you through my process and give you all of my tips for baking the best loaf of bread. Oh my gosh. And if I can bake a bread from scratch, out of my van, off-grid, on a snow day, then I think you can do it too. Before we get started, I'm gonna throw the recipe up here. So go ahead, pause the video, screenshot that recipe, because you're gonna wanna make this bread. Try to screenshot it when I'm making a cute face, you know, like this. Not like a weird face, like either one, whatever makes you happy. First step is measuring out the water and warming it up. Now it's really important that the water for the yeast is warm. If it's too cold, it won't activate the yeast, and if it's too hot, it will kill the yeast. So I'm going to be using the thermometer gauge on my kettle to get the perfect temperature to activate the yeast. I'm looking for it to be between 100 and 110 degrees. So we're just going to watch this baby like a hawk. Alright, we're right in the middle of 100 and 110, so I'm just going to cut off the heat. That should be perfect. Alright, we're gonna measure out our yeast. I am using this Fleischmann's active dry yeast. Eventually I plan on getting into making my own starter, but that'll be for another video. Next step is to add a little bit of sugar. I found organic brown sugar to have the best results in making this bread. The yeast needs the sugar to activate. It feeds on the sugar, so don't forget the sugar. I have used red date sugar before, so if you're looking for a sugar alternative, that does work. But the organic brown sugar I found to be the best. Let's add our water. Give it a little stir to incorporate. And then we're gonna set that aside and let it get nice and foamy. While our yeast is getting foamy, I'm gonna go ahead and prepare the other ingredients for this bread. So my signature bread is an olive and herb loaf. Oh, I love it. So good. I've even fed this bread to people who don't like olives, and they've loved it. Now the olives and herbs are optional, but it definitely adds just a little something extra. So good. So for the herbs, we're gonna be using rosemary. I just love rosemary. And being here in the pine forest with the snow, it just feels appropriate. Reminds me of little pine trees. Look at that. It's gonna make such a good bread. I'm gonna give it a nice chop so that, you know, you're not like chewing on rosemary in the bread. As I'm chopping it, it's releasing the fragrance, and it is just amazing. Making something from scratch and working with the whole ingredients, it just brings me so much joy. I can't think of anything I'd rather be doing today. I've decided to go with a Kalamata olive simply because they're my favorite. I just love them so much, and they go so well with rosemary. So you just want to give them a little rough chop. I like to leave some of the pieces a little bigger just because I really do love that olive taste. Look at how foamy that is. If it smells like a soft pretzel or like beer, then you know it's good. The yeast is ready, it's perfectly foamy. I'm gonna add the flour right into the bowl with the yeast. And some salt going in. I'm gonna use a spoon just to gently incorporate the ingredients together. Adding in our special ingredients. I'm gonna lightly flour the surface here. Gently working the dough. Got another clean bowl. I'm gonna add some olive oil to the bowl. Just enough to coat the bowl. You wanna kind of coat every edge here. Then we're gonna take our adorable little loaf here and plop it right in there. Cover your dough with a little towel. And then we're gonna let this proof for 1 hour. And you're gonna wanna put it somewhere warm. I like to use my oven. It's not on or anything, but I just feel like it's a nice cozy spot for the bread to rise. Okay, I think while the bread is rising, we should go take a walk in the snow. Come on. Let's go. You having fun? Come on! Go! Come on, Jude. Come on. Oh, buddy. I get it now. Really, I'm starting to get why people love winter so much. I've always been like a sunshine girl and loving warm weather, but this is incredible. The stillness, the quiet, the beauty of the freshly fallen snow on the pines. Lucha and I are having a blast. We don't normally do stuff like this. We normally chase good weather. And yeah, this feels really special. Living off-grid makes you prioritize self-reliance. I want to know that I can rely on myself, not just on a bakery or a store, in order to have a fresh loaf of bread. It also has a way of connecting you to your roots, to each individual ingredient that makes up a meal, that makes up your life. Your ancestors had to make everything from scratch. They had to survive, relying only on themselves and on the earth. It makes me stop and ponder just how far we've come away from that as a society. Could I survive like my ancestors? Probably not. Modern life disconnects us from what really matters. You're expected to hustle, working non-stop to buy that new car, that new phone, a quick stop at McDonald's to satiate a growling stomach, mindlessly eating in the car while rushing to the next planned activity. It's all a distraction. A man named Alan Saunders thoughtfully said, "Life is what happens to you while you're busy making other plans." The true joy of living is found in the small, simple, unplanned moments. A walk in nature, observing life unfolding around you, a dance under the falling snow, or baking a bread from scratch. I used to be caught up in keeping up with those around me, running a business that had to be successful, but it's never too late to make a change. A yearning to truly live and feel connected to my roots calls me to this life off the grid, away from society's expectations and distractions. I have less now materially, but I gained so much more. I've tasted both the pleasure and the hard effort it takes to live this way. It's not always easy, but it's worth it. I feel more alive and energized and more connected in the relationships in my life, and more connected to the earth. I won't go back to the hustle and grind. I'm carving a new path for myself, a simple life that nourishes my soul and brings me boundless joy in each and every unplanned moment. Will you look at that? I think I've gotten warmed up for my walk. It feels so good out here. I'm just gonna do this next step right here because I can't get enough of this snow. This bread calls for 2 proofings. That's right, 2 one-hour proofs. For this next step, we're gonna take some cornmeal and we're going to remove the dough from the bowl. Woo! Sprinkle a little cornmeal in there. Return. I'm just gonna punch it down a little. Fold it over slightly. Sprinkle some cornmeal on top. The cornmeal is gonna give it that crusty top, so don't skip the cornmeal. Cover back up. Let rise for another hour. This is slow food, okay? Not fast food. While my bread proofs a second time, I think I'm going to go snap a few artsy photos. Okay, now I'm cold. Oh, will you look at that? All right, ready for the next step. Gonna get the oven going. Oh, that's a little tricky. You guys get to see this. Oh, there we go. Okay. I am using a cast iron pan with a lid to bake my bread. I definitely recommend using cast iron because it just gives that bread that little extra oomph. We're gonna add just a touch of olive oil, just enough to kind of coat the pan so that the bread doesn't stick. We're gonna drop this baby on in there. Oh yeah, look at that. Wow. Do you guys see this? Look at that. See that little bounce? Perfect. We're gonna cut 2 slits into the top of the bread using a knife. Cover with the lid, and then it's finally time to go in the oven. "30 minutes with the lid on. Oh my gosh, look at that beauty! Vegan butter. And coat the top with it. Back in the oven for another 20 minutes, this time uncovered with the lid off. Let's take a moment and appreciate how cute Peluche is. He's tired from all his frolicking in the snow, aren't you, buddy? You're so cute. Mama love you so much. You're so cute. You can tell I'm parked on a slant because the bread is crooked. Wow, look at that. It looks amazing. I'm excited to see how it tastes. Oh, my mouth is watering. I'm so excited. I just love this bread so much. It's so good on its own. Doesn't need anything. Just eat it plain. I've also got a slice here with a really simple salad, spinach and tomatoes dressed with a little balsamic because it will complement the olive bread really well. And I kind of wanted some fresh veggies to go with it. Let's give it a try. Ooh, messy, but incredible. The fresh tomato and spinach and balsamic go so well with the olive and rosemary in the bread. I am in heaven. Happy food dance. Does anyone else do that? Just me? When I eat something that's so good and so just fresh and tasty, and it just makes me dance. I especially love this because I made this from scratch. I know every single ingredient that went in here, and that's pretty awesome. It's got the perfect crunch on the outside, and it's soft. Do you see this? Soft and squishy on the inside. Are you seeing this? Are you hearing this? I gotta go because I'm about to eat this whole loaf of bread by myself. What else have I got to do on this snow day? I can't think of a better way to be stuck in the snow, off-grid, alone, but to shove a whole loaf of bread in my face. After an amazing day, exploring nature and creating art, my heart is so full. My soul feels so nourished. My body feels so nourished. Let's just hope I can get out of this spot tomorrow or soon. That's not working. Bloopers.
Fire. Hush mode
Oh my gosh.
These videos are made possible through the support of our patrons. Join the Ride and Seek crew on Patreon today. Thank you, crew!